Greetings, true believers. This is Mad Hair Patrick. Yeah, I'm still trying to find my way back home, but I'm having no such luck. But some of these places do make great vacations. Okay, let's see what channel 106 is gonna be like. Nope, still not my home, but... Ah!
Whoa, fancy shortcut, pal.
What is that? Are you okay? Gotta be more careful. Mad Hair Sans can do that too. Sans is a what? You look just like me, but what's with all the Disney stuff? What, this? This is part of my costume for my podcast, The Word of Disney. What's that? Well, after I decided to extend my program and then became a full-time member, I was promoted to run a podcast to enhance my editing skills. So, you're a what-if version of me if I chose to stay at my Disney college program a bit longer, theoretically speaking. So this must be a Disney-based universe. Wrong. Welcome to the Cyber Wonderland Society. The Cyber Wonderland Society is an alternate dimension created by MHP 10.6 where other versions of you and variants of Cyber Wonderland come here and visit for some free time. Hello, regular me. Hello, Mere Me. Say, I didn't know you two know each other. Well, this is certainly a strange place. That's it! Can you help me with something? I stole this universal remote control from a control freak, and I accidentally trapped myself on a never-ending hunt to find my home. Do you or any other Mad Hair Patricks know how I can get home? Perhaps MHP 10.6 might know. You're gonna have to talk to him down the hall. Okay, thank you.
State your business.
I'm looking for my home dimension. Can you help me how to get back?
Please tell me your Earth number.
I don't know my Earth number. I was hoping you might know.
I'm afraid I can't help you. Without an Earth number, I can't send you back.
But I was supposed to see Across the Spider-Verse for Multiverse Month and...
Spider-Verse? Multiverse Month?
Yes.
Perhaps there is a way to send you back. All you need to do is review Across the Spider-Verse for Multiverse Month.
How would that help?
Every variant that comes here has a different voice or method to talk about an anime project. If you can watch the new Spider-Verse movie in this dimension and share your thoughts, I can decipher the Earth number that you come from. So what do you say? Wanna do this?
Oh yeah, I am so in!
Ah yes, everyone's favorite Spider-Man franchise is back with more spiders than ever before. I remember even before I made my review of Into the Spider-Verse, I had a great time with it for its great story, memorable characters, and revolutionary animation. It's thanks to Spider-Man that animation has taken to a whole new stage of mixing all kinds of art styles. However, there is a catch to this sequel. Across the Spider-Verse is split into two parts, which is why the running time is 140 minutes, making it the longest running anime film produced by an American studio. While the second part will be released at least next year. But for now, we're going to analyze the first part before we get to part 2. Now that the Spider-Verse is open again, does it remain to be amazing, spectacular, ultimate, or even beyond ultimate?
Welcome to another episode of the Wonder Reviews. Prepare to have your spidey senses be blown away. This is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
It starts out with Miles Morales living his newfound life as Spider-Man. However, he seems to be struggling living his normal life like his family and school and continue his hero job at the same time. But when a new Spider-Verse villain named The Spot enters the scene, and Spider-Gwen returns to his dimension to show him a dimension reserved for all Spider-Heroes called the Spider Society, Miles must prove to himself that he is a Spider-Man and defeat the Spot to save all reality and everyone he loves and cares. There were a lot of things happening throughout the entire movie, and I've been trying to process everything I just saw. And I don't mean all the Spider-Man references, and trust me, we'll get to them in a moment. It's the story on how they successfully managed to expand the Spider-Verse and the morality of being Spider-Man. The Spider-Verse actually explores the Spider-Man lore and legacy of what makes each variant a Spider-Hero, whether it be their bad or tragic moments throughout their journey. There's an interesting concept on the Spider Society where their job is to apprehend Spider-Man villains called anomalies in order to restore each timeline of everyone's respective dimensions. and there are some consequences if the timeline do not stay canon or consistent as they originally were. In addition, the sequel does manage to answer a bunch of questions that has a tie into its own predecessor, like what happened to Peter Parker in Gwen's dimension? Where did the spider that bit Miles come from? Why does the Spot have a vendetta over him? And then there's the role of being Spider-Man. Remember how in the last movie they say anyone can wear the mask, anyone can become Spider-Man? In this one, it's all about how someone can wear the mask. What defines them as Spider-Man? The plot is all about Miles finding his place and identity as Spider-Man since he is growing up, but he's going through all kinds of issues of being a superhero, like falling behind school, distancing himself from his parents, and trying to find a way to save all reality and the people he loves and cares the most at the same time. Some say he can't do both because that's part of the Spider-Man tradition, but he still believes that there is another way without causing a rip fabric in reality. And the trials and tribulations of being a spider-hero applies to the others like Gwen Stacy, Miguel, and more. There are plenty of references and Easter eggs scattered throughout the movie, and they will either make you laugh or help expand the existence of the Spider-Man franchise in all shapes and sizes. It doesn't just add in spider-heroes from existing comics and movies, they include cartoons, video games, toys, or at times something original or different. But then comes the way the movie ended. I'm not going to spoil everything that just happened. As previously stated, this is a two-part movie. However, the movie did manage to find a perfect cliffhanger to stop at because it does hint at what's going to happen next and how will the characters get out of these sticky situations.
Nobody said being a Spider-Man was ever that easy. It's not all fun and games. Most spider heroes did have a hard time trying to hide their identity from others and managing their time living a double life, even after completing their first crime-fighting mission. With all the responsibilities the characters had to go through and the decisions they had to make, it makes most of them three-dimensional and relatable.
With so many infinite amount of spider heroes present in Across the Spider-Verse, you'd think it would be a difficult task to figure out which one should the movie primarily focus on in part 1, and the result ended with complete satisfaction. The movie achieves to make most of the characters memorable, develop, and help expand the Spider-Verse. Let's go over this one last time on Spider-Man Miles Morales. He's trying to balance his life as a superhero and life outside of being a web-slinger. Once Gwen came back to his life, he wants to follow his own independent path and be part of the Spider Society. However, he has to learn the responsibility of being Spider-Man but still become a hero in his own way, like rekindling his parent relationship. He wants to be independent from his dad, but doesn't want to lose him like Uncle Aaron. And he has to promise his mom to take care of himself and remember that he is still her and his dad's son. But the movie doesn't just focus on him. Spider-Gwen gets a lot of character tying back to her previous role in Into the Spider-Verse. She wants to reunite with Miles again because she is alone in her world and having trouble with her dad. But once she joins the society, there is an explanation why she didn't want Miles to interfere with the Spot mission, and she starts to have doubts over this club. Peter B. Parker returned as well, and he went through a massive change on being a parent and having a spider baby. While the others from the last movie like Penny, Spider-Ham, and Noir only made cameos, we do get some new spider heroes that share the same imagination and creativity as them. Even though they don't appear a lot in this, they do play an important role in the movie with a personality of their own. Hobie, aka Spider-Punk, is Spider-Gwen's support friend who doesn't play by Miguel's rules. Puppeteer is a Spider-Man from India that experienced a different timeline than was originally intended. Spider-Bite is a Spider-Woman that communicates through virtual reality back to her home dimension and operates the Spider-Verse. And Jessica is another Spider-Woman who is Gwen's mentor that has to follow orders from Miguel whether she likes her or not. When it comes to the main villain, the Spy, he does have an interesting backstory that explains how Miles became Spider-Man, had the power to jump portals and dimension, and has a life-threatening plan to destroy all reality in the Spider-Verse so he wouldn't be labeled as a joke. My only nitpick with him is that he's executed in an over-top manner that he acts like a crazy Looney Tunes villain and Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I know he's trying to prove to himself that he is a serious threat, but hopefully in the sequel he goes easy on the cuckoo train and we get to see everything that he's got. But the funny thing about the Spot as the film's opponent, he doesn't appear a lot. The antagonistic role goes to Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099. His goal is to restore the Spider-Verse, undo the damage that Miles' dimension had created, and have every event remain intact, including the tragic ones. Sounds heroic, sure, but he is a Spider-Man that rejects Miles on being Spider-Man because he thinks it was never meant to be this way. His aggressive attitude towards Miles is so heartless, you really want to root for Miles on defeating the Spot, save his family from a foreshadowing crisis, and still be Spider-Man in his own way, no matter what Miguel says.
I know Spider-Man 2099 is doing what is best to save all dimensions in existence, and there was a tragic past what fuels them to save all of reality, but every spider hero has their own choice and path to make. Accident or not, we already accepted Miles Morales as a Spider-Man because he did save his home from Kingpin and chose to protect everyone from then on while still adapting his life as Spider-Man. But let's get to the best part of what makes Spider-Verse one of the greatest comic book movies of all time.
When making a sequel, it usually results in making the animation much grander than before, and with Spider-Verse, you got to expect new spider looks or different settings. But Across the Spider-Verse exceeded all those expectations in the best way. In the original movie, they had up to at least 140 animators working on Into the Spider-Verse. In the sequel, they got 1,000 people to work on it with a total of 240 characters and 6 dimensions with unique artworks. Starting off with the designs, they still keep the 2D rotoscope look to all the characters that appear in Miles' dimension, as well as bring in the art styles that were introduced before, like anime and 2D animation. However, the animation added in all kinds of different art styles you never imagined would ever appear in Spider-Man. It's like they got every form of media from each variant of the Spider-Verse: stop motion, Renaissance art, hand-drawn, 3D animation, rotoscoping, live action, and magazine cutouts whenever Spider-Punk appears on screen. It helped capture the legacy of Spider-Man in media, making all the Spider heroes in existence translate well into the Spider-Verse, no matter which dimension they are from. And with each member of the Spider Society, or whenever Miles and his friends fight out some enemies, the character animation present a lot of speed and energy to make the action scenes epic to watch, from the Spot's portal jumping to the chase scenes for the other Spider variants. But whenever they're not fighting, the movements are still smooth and does present some amazing camera angles during the web slinging or when they crawl on some walls or other surfaces. But then there are the backgrounds, and they take the audience to places in the Spider-Verse as well as flesh out the old ones from the first movie. Brooklyn, New York continues to show a grand scale of Miles' home, but then you have Spider-Gwen's universe, which contains a bunch of pink and purple colors, which was hinted out from the first movie. However, the watercolors can also change like a mood ring to reflect how Gwen feels. Another cool color scheme is Spider-Man 2099's world, Nueva York. It uses red, blue, and yellow to depict the advanced future technology used to create the dimensional portals. Other spectacular backgrounds include Mumbai being a mix of Manhattan, New York, and Mumbai, India, and the ending, which I'm still not going to spoil, has a sense of unsettling nature that something is not right.
There is one more special effect that is pretty cool, and that is the scene with the Spot absorbing his powers and the vision that both him and Miles foresee. It's all wide and sketchy and give a disturbing feeling, and whenever the Spot conserves his energy, he somehow becomes scary and a legitimate threat to the multiverse. So, the co-director wasn't kidding that this movie is the Empire Strikes Back of Spider-Verse, and I loved every minute of it.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is an incredible follow-up, even better than its own predecessor. The writing is awesome on part 1, it has wonderful knowledge behind the existence of Spider-Man, the characters are unforgettable, and the animation has taken to the next level. This is an absolute must-watch for everyone, and it's worth watching again if you ever want to count all the Spider Easter eggs and characters present in the film. There is still plenty more to come in the Spider-Verse, so join me and others next year when we're going to see Beyond the Spider-Verse, and how will it wrap up this trilogy. For now, I give Across the Spider-Verse an A, and it gets the Diploma of Destiny from the Cyber Wonderland Society.
Well, Mr. 10.6?
I knew it! It is you! You are the prime Mad Hatter Patrick, the first of all of us!
Well, I guess that makes sense, but I already tried Channel 1.
The channels you've been serving do not represent which universe came first. They are a series of random standardized codes like the Upside Down Dimension and the Mars universe. The Earth you are looking for is on the day that you came to Earth.
That's ridiculous. I never left Earth to visit other planets or... Oh.
That is your real home, all safe and sound.
Thank you so much. Wait, huh? Did you say you're the first Mad Hatter Patrick and you're doing Multiverse Month? Yes.
Can we be part of your video for Multiverse Month?
Yeah, it's your imagination what created the Cyber Wonderland Society. But there's so many of you. Please? Come on, you're just gonna add us as cameos for the sketch? It would make a lot of sense to add in some variants to wrap up this month. Okay, I'll do it, but I will do a top 10 month to wrap up this month. Yay! Well, I found a way to phone home, but it looks like I'm gonna be here for a while. I'm Mad Hatter Patrick. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to pick 10 variants to start on my next top 10 list.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.